Oh no.
All right, I'm live.
I'm gonna get a glass of water. I'll be right back, guys.
How's everybody doing?
Sorry.
Oh, let's see. I gotta set up the Discord first. Oh, let me get off of this real quick. How's everybody doing tonight? Hey Ashton, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Today's kind of like an impromptu. I got my green screen outfit on today, totally in camouflage. This is like ghost mode. Crispy, how you doing? Too woke. How you doing? Let me get this set up. Try to get there's Sean. Sean. Let's see. Can we hear something from Sean?
Oh.
All right. Okay. Got Sean's name on there. Let's get rid of this red alert. It's been a red alert day all day today. So, how's everybody doing? Monday afternoon, Monday evening. Sean, can you
I can
hear
see
me?
your lips. I can hear you.
I got my this is my camo. You can see my eyes. I have a green ski mask, green sunglasses. So you just see a pair of lips. What's that face app that you can put your eyes and your lips on, like fruit and stuff like that? What is that?
Can you put your lips over Scarlet?
Well, I'd have to. I don't know.
Maybe it's better that you can't.
Let me see. No, because then this is like. No, I gotta superimpose the other camera on top of the other one. It's different cameras.
Okay.
I notice her head is kind of too big on this drawing too. So.
That's your camera perspective.
Yeah, because the table's at a slight angle. This way it's much better. This way it looks much better. But now you got to rotate your screen around. So, let's see here. A lot of news happening today.
Is that why you're wearing a mask? You're like deep throat and you got like some secrets.
We got some secrets to dish out today. Some deep industry secrets. This is your chance. If you want to come on here and vent, this is your chance to do that. Man, this ski mask is too hot. All right, I'm going to get rid of this. You can at some point. What does this look like? Like a helmet. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got. Ashton, what's going on, man? Haven't seen you in a while. Ashton and I go way back. Sue Lee, how you doing? Welcome to the stream.
Oh, Sue Lee's back.
Yeah.
I watched Sue's stream. I was lurking on Sue's stream yesterday for like, I think she was there on for like 5 hours.
Oh, yeah?
And did a kick-ass drawing.
Kazuto, welcome. How you doing? Hey, Ashton, are you in the animation industry now? Just curious. Let me get my fuel here. What kind of drawing should we do today, Sean?
Maybe a DC character.
I think we should do a DC character today.
Yeah, Bob Harris is a DC character, right?
I can't draw. I don't draw people. I just draw characters. So we came on here today with some big news in the industry. Not necessarily the best news, the greatest news, but we will still get through it. Oh, where's this? How do you feel about things, Sean?
Oh, I don't know too much. I know I've known Bob Harris, Bobby Chase. I think those are the two that I know, and yeah, I don't know the rest of the people. I might know Andy Curry, but I'm not sure if it was the same guy that I knew. But they're all really nice people.
Yeah. I mean, DC, been working at DC since 2008. So it is always difficult to see this happen, especially to friends, people that you knew. If you haven't heard yet, today there were some layoffs at DC Comics. I guess
Always
Sean,
very sad.
have you ever been laid off?
Me?
Yes.
Oh, I'm mostly freelance, so yeah, I never really worked for a company.
I think
I was kicked off Wolverine, I think. Yeah.
You were kicked off Wolverine? How did that happen? Why would they kick you off Wolverine? You drew that for like 3 years.
Well, the new administration came in and said, hey, you know, Wolverine is a A-list character. We should have an A-list creator instead, like Sean Chen is on it. So they got what was it? He draws the boys now. That guy,
Derek Robinson.
Derek Robinson, yeah, took over, and and it didn't really do much for the sales. And he drew Wolverine like really short, really, I don't know.
It was a completely different style than yours, right? It's like a 180 style versus from what you were doing to what Derek was doing.
Yeah, well, I had two different eras of Wolverine. I think when I started out, he was like the yellow and blue costume, and he did like fought a lot of aliens and stuff. And then Axel Alonso came in, and then it became a very street level Wolverine, where he just wore his leathers and fought mafia people. But you know, even after that, I had to get off the book, step off, and then let Derek Robinson and I think it was it Greg Rucka to do their thing, and then I got moved on to something else. But you figure like a couple years on Wolverine, like these days, that's a long run. So you know, I have nothing to complain about.
I've been laid off a couple times, especially in the entertainment industry. It's not a very pleasant experience, but
it's gotta be the worst.
Well, I'll give you one example. Well, let's see. Would you consider when Fabian came to Valiant and I didn't capitulate, is that a layoff or is that something I just left on my own terms?
I don't know.
That wasn't
however
really
you
yeah, that wasn't really a layoff. That was just me unwilling to capitulate, to bend the knee. So when I got hired at Disney, I was initially hired at Disney Interactive. This was 1996. Let's figure out what character to draw tonight. While I can talk and draw at the same time, and we can maybe make this in 1 hour stream. Because I do have other stuff I have to get back to tonight. But if you guys have questions or want to sound off, please go to Yoji. Welcome tonight. Kazuto, welcome tonight. We can't really. I don't think we're going to talk about who got let go. Some of it is speculation. Some of it is I'll tell you. So, the Disney. Well, let's figure out a character first. Who do you think?
You doing DC
Yeah, let's do a
tonight?
DC character tonight.
Catwoman,
Catwoman? No.
Batgirl.
Huntress? Huntress. She has those like large eye things. Those are always like really weird to draw, right? Didn't Bob Layton design Huntress or create Huntress? I mean, I guess there's like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, maybe Green Lantern, maybe Nightwing. Who else? Too woke. You're in the wrong company there. Kite Man. Is Kite Man a DC character?
Oh my God, Kite Man.
Dexstar. 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 You mean the cat? Dexstar. Yuji sent me a link to do the poll. Let me see if I can do the poll thing.
You can do a poll with 14 people.
I can manage a poll. Yeah. Well, you're not supposed to say how many people are on stream. Let's see. Who should I
Oh,
draw?
don't.
So that's a streaming no-no according to YouTube stars. According to YouTube video. Okay, let me see. Who is the first one? What is the... Sean, can you tell me, call them off because I have the screens. Poison Ivy. Who said Howard the Duck? We're trying to do DC characters here.
So there was Huntress, Dexstar.
I can tell you right now I'm not going to draw Dexstar. I'm sorry, Sully. I'm not going to draw Dexstar. The cat, right? The cat from the Red Lantern cat. Solomon Grundy. Ooh, maybe Bizarro. Can I draw Bizarro? Let's draw Bizarro. I think that kind of fits. Well,
Yeah,
let me
it's a
put up
surreal day at DC. So.
Yeah, let me put up the Solomon Grundy. All right, I might have gotten the spelling wrong. Let me just see if this poll thing works. Suli, maybe another stream I'll draw Dexstar. Anybody else? Kevin P. West, welcome to the stream. Kevin P. West with the Howard the Duck. Wei, ni hao, welcome to the stream. We got the same crew back. Jay Dang, welcome back. Old School Thunder and Lightning, Vietnamese twin brothers from Teen Titans. Okay, all right, let me throw that down there. Thunder and Lightning. All right. Nobody vote for that one, okay? Everybody vote for Bizarro. All right, so how does this go? Let's do a 2-minute poll. Start the poll. Let's see how this looks. Do you guys see a poll come up? Oh, okay, it comes up in the chat box. Interesting. All right. Are you guys gonna? Are people voting already? I'm voting for Bizarro. All right. Thank you for voting for Bizarro. We're in the lead right now. Solomon Grundy and Poison Ivy coming back around, back around, round the first turn, back around. We got like another minute left in this poll. Is those levels? Kazuto from Brazil, yes. Sao Paulo. Oh, I'm kind of quiet today. Okay, let me see if I can turn up my volume. How's this? Is this better? You guys can see this. How's my voice today? Is it a little bit better?
It's silky smooth.
Let me tone down the Discord here. Sean, you might also want to like amp up the Yeti.
Oh, you turn up my mic.
Well, no, turn it on. I can just I can hear a lot of bumping and scratching though. But all right, I think the poll is over. Right? We got the end of the poll. Bizarro wins. Thank you for voting for Bizarro. Okay, that was fun. Thank you, Yoji, for hooking it up. Wei is always leaving and eating, or watching TV with his wife. Happy wife, happy life. Okay, let's do Bizarro. All right. Always liked Bizarro. So, let me tell you about my layoff story. Hopefully it will reassure people the end of the world is not here. But it is a difficult time for everyone involved. So, back in '96, I got a job offer to move out to LA to work at Disney Interactive. Decided to hang up comics for a little bit and give my shot at Disney, working for the mouse. And I made sure before I moved out that I signed a 3-year contract. So that I have some kind of guarantee. I didn't want to move across the country, pack up everything. I actually had a pretty good living situation. Sean and I were roommates, living in a sweet-ass loft in Brooklyn Heights. What's the area? Carroll Gardens? Sean? Was it Brooklyn Heights, Carroll Gardens? And I guess Sean might have stepped away a little bit. And I was recently promoted to head basketball coach at Pratt, so I was going to be a college basketball head coach, NCAA, at the age of 24. One of the youngest head basketball coaches, college basketball coaches in the country. Granted, it's Division III, and granted, we were probably going to lose a ton of games that season. But nevertheless, it was something that I've been working for quite a while. I spent the previous year as the assistant coach after I graduated. Similar, Yoji, similar. Same area, well, Red Hook. The Teen Titans headquarters is in Red Hook. So it's a little bit off. Back then, Red Hook was not as gentrified as it is now. It was still the projects. The closest subway station was Smith and 9th Street. Which was the F train. So there was no direct train. I still don't think there's a direct train into Red Hook. There was no IKEA. The IKEA hadn't been built yet. I think there's an IKEA down the street now. But we were on Court Street in Brooklyn. Nice Italian neighborhood. Quiet, peaceful. A lot of little restaurants. And so life was good. I had recently left Valiant. My contract was over. I had gotten a couple of gigs at Marvel. John Paul Leon brought me into Marvel, where I met Bob Harris and Mark Powers. They were his editors. They were running the X Office at the time. And one of my first book at Marvel was an X-Men book. Single issue. So, too woke. You went to D3 school? Which school did you go to? But we had a nice apartment. It was a loft apartment, 2 levels. There were 3 of us. The other roommate was Joe. Joe was like a computer guy, smoked all the time. He stayed in his room most of the time. Sean, if you're still there, you talked to Joe recently? I wonder how he's doing. Joe's always a nice guy. Sean, are you talking? I don't hear you. So I had sent out a friend of mine was still going to Pratt. He said there were some executives that were visiting from Disney. They were looking for recruiting for artists. They were specifically looking for comic book artists. And I'm like, hey, that's me. I always wanted to see if I was a Disney level, Disney quality artist, right? Anyways, I mailed in my resume. Back then, nobody had any websites. You just had an AOL account, maybe. And a week or so goes by. I thought it'd be a fairly simple process. They call me back and say, hey, we need you to send out a portfolio. I sent out my portfolio. After that, another couple weeks go by, and they're like, hey, we need you to fly out for an interview. So I was like, wow, this is getting kind of serious. I thought they would just tell me over the phone, based off of my resume and my portfolio, if they're going to hire me. But they wanted to do an in-person interview. So a buddy of mine that I went to college with, Kadir, was getting married in San Diego at the time. And I was like, hey, can you schedule the interview for this Wednesday, Thursday? And they were like, yeah, sure, no problem. So I was really going to the interview for a free trip, free airplane ticket to come to my buddy's wedding, right in San Diego. And so when I got here, did the interview. You know, at Disney, with some of these major corporations, I'm interviewing with like eight different people that one day. You were interviewing with HR. HR is the last one, first and last one. You got the VP guy. You got producers, you got writers, you got other artists you're interviewing with, people that might be at where your level that they're going to bring you in, maybe below, above, a whole gamut of different people. And then each one, ask you a bunch of questions, and then based off of your answers, they write a report that they submit to whomever, I guess, at the end of the day. So, aced it, drove down to my buddy's wedding, flew back a week later. They called, they made an offer. It's a pretty decent offer. After a couple weeks of negotiations, they upped the offer. I decided, okay, it might be a good time to give this art thing a try. You know. The basketball, I could probably come back to at a later age, maybe with a little bit more wisdom. Maybe, get some wisdom under my belt. Maybe I'll be a better coach if I come back to it later at some other point. Flew out. Made sure I had 3-year contract. They paid for everything. They paid for the move out. They paid for... Well, I gave Sean my 30-day notice. I said, Sean, man, I'm going to move out to L.A. Pursue this comics thing. By this point, I was doing stuff for Marvel, but Sean was still at Valiant. I think he was drawing Exo Man of War. And, I'm like, sorry about this, but I'm gonna give this Disney thing a shot. Hey, Sean, are you there, man? I saw you type something earlier. This one's actually pretty quick. This Bizarro sketch. So when I moved out, I had a 3-year contract. It was renewable at the end of every year. They paid for the move. They put me up in a place. They gave me a car for like a month or so. I think they gave me a car for like 2 months. They put me up in a place for like a month or so. They, hooked me up with, I guess, a real estate agent to find. So the relocation was actually, it was pretty cool. Orientation at Disney was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 days. And then Thursday started work, I think. Thursday, Friday started work. I flew in on a Sunday. Got in on a Sunday, I think it was September 18th. And then the next day I had orientation. So I really didn't get a lot of time to like explore LA or anything initially. Well, good thing. Look at this. Okay. This was September. That Thursday was the first day in the office. That Friday, like at 3 o'clock, there was this huge party. I'm like, this is the middle of September. What is the holiday? Is it like Walt Disney's birthday or something? And they're like, no, we do this every week. We have a party every week. Is the audio still low? D. Rucker, I'm drawing a Bizarro. And which the Bizarro, is it both R's are backwards? Is it 1 R, 2 R's? Yeah, we can't hear Sean. You can hear Sean? Oh, there he is.
I'm here. I'm back.
All right, he's back. Sean, was that a number 2 or a number 1.5?
Well, put the kids to bed.
Oh,
Too low.
bed. Okay. All right. So, right now I'm on the part of the story where I just flew into LA to take the job at Disney Interactive. I was a senior artist. Second R is backwards. And that Friday they had a huge party, beer, music. You know, it's like, what is this? Like Walt Disney's birthday or something, or the VP's birthday or something? I don't know. This is like middle of September, and they're like, no, we do this every week, man. So, not a lot of work got done on Fridays. It's basically a 4-day week work week. Anyways, fast forward. Again, I had this 3-year contract, renewable at the end of each year, but it's a mutual agreement, renewal. I wanted some kind of security before I moved out. In April, they announced a layoff at Interactive, and they laid off like 200 people in one day from one division. So the VP that hired me actually brought me in 2 weeks before the layoffs were happening, and he said, Bernard, you know, I appreciate everything that you've done, but unfortunately the company grew too fast. The division grew too fast. Every week there were new people coming in. There were 2 or 3 or 4 new people. When I started, it started that summer, their recruitment and hiring. And but because of the parties that I mentioned, eventually a lot of the games were late. So yeah, because, you know, people, they come around Friday, they knew like, oh shit, you know, if I can just stretch my Friday lunch out a little bit, I can go to lunch, come back 1 or 2, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock's the party. So I maybe got like 1 more hour of work, and then the whole office stops. So nothing got done. And the games were late. And they hired too many people. So the VP that brought me in said, Bernard, I know you're not going to steal anything. I trust you, but you should get your resume in order. And you know, start preparing. And coincidentally, at the same time, another producer that had been working at Interactive but was also an Imagineer said, hey Bernard, why don't you come have a meeting with me in the Imagineering building, in his office in the Imagineering building. I was like, that's kind of weird. And he's like, no, just come over, you know, I want to show you some stuff over here. So I went, and then while I was there, he had a bunch of people come through his office, introduced me to a bunch of people at Imagineering, which is a separate department from Interactive. And pretty much I put 2 to 2 together. This guy was looking out for me. He knew that I was probably going to be let go as well, and brought me over to Imagineering, hoping that maybe I might latch on over there. So Terry, wanted to always thank Terry Dotson. He's Harry? No, not Dotson. Terry Dotson is the comic book guy. But Terry. And so he really introduced me to a bunch of people at Imagineering. So by the time the layoff came, and that was actually very take anything that was, what can I take, right? I can't take the computers. That's way too big. What can I take? Terry Dobson, yes. I was right. Take a stapler? Come on, it's am I going to risk my professional reputation to take a free stapler? Stupid. Stapler is what, $5? Um, so the day of the layoffs, in the morning, I didn't know which day it would be. I just knew that it was coming. And so I had actually uh, set up I had prepared my portfolio, my resume, so I was ready to go. And I was still working on my whatever assignment that I was doing for Disney Interactive. I was a senior artist. The reasoning was that, look, my salary, what they were paying me, they could keep 2 or 3 guys on. They needed to downsize. The company wasn't folding. Disney Interactive was not folding. And in fact, Disney Interactive is still around today and very healthy. They just needed to downsize a little bit. So in the first thing in the morning, they brought everybody. There were like 2 buildings of us. They brought everybody into this warehouse. And they said, all right, unfortunately, we've grown too fast. Haven't met particular expectations in terms of deliverables. And so we're going to need to restructure. And a lot of people were shocked. So just go back to your office, go back to your desks, and don't go anywhere. If you're going to go to lunch, come right back. But just stay at your desks, stay cool, and then we'll call you. So sure enough, we go back to our desks. Everybody's kind of like not knowing, who's going to get let go, who's not. And you sit at your desk all day waiting for your phone to ring. And sure enough, you hear like ring, ring, ring over here, ring, ring, ring over there. A couple minutes later, somebody else. And I'm like, well, I knew I was going to get laid off, but again, I didn't know when the phone call was going to come. So I'm sitting there in a cubicle next to me playing video games with some friends. And sure enough, like in the afternoon, early afternoon, my phone rang. Picked it up, like, hey, HR wants to talk to you. Can you come into so-and-so's office? Like, yeah, okay. So I went into the office. There was like 1 or 2 people from HR. There was 1 or 2 vice presidents, VPs, senior management. And they're like, Bernard, we really appreciate what your work that you've done for us, but unfortunately, we're going to have to let you go. We're going to offer you a severance package. Of X amount of pay, which was not a lot of money. And, and that's it. And you get like health benefits until the end of the year or something. So I'm like, oh man, well, thank you for the opportunity. Before I sign anything, because they had like a form. So before I sign anything, I have a signed contract with you guys. So I'm uncomfortable signing this new document without consulting my attorney, because I would be breaching our original agreement, technically. So if you guys don't mind, could you send this paperwork to my attorney? Here's his contact information, so that we can negotiate the terms, because I have technically a 3-year deal. And you're asking me to leave 8 months in. But I'd be happy to leave, so I'll go and, pack up my personal items. No stapler, Yoji. No office supplies, Yoji. Just purely my own personal items. I had like a little knick-knack here or there. And I'll leave. But thank you again for the opportunity. I'm new to this stuff. I'm really uncomfortable signing anything. But once my attorney gives me the okay, or whatever, I'm sure we can figure something out. So I think they weren't really expecting that, the HR people. Is Bizarro's eyes reversed, like black is white, white is black, like the pupil? Or no? I'm just no. Okay, he just has a like mascara. So I went back to my desk. I had a box. Threw a bunch of stuff in there. I left the stapler. I left the office supplies. Just took my own personal knickknacks. Said goodbye to my buddies over there, and went home. Actually, at the same time, I also called my contact that I met at Imagineering, and I set up for an interview the next day at Imagineering. So the very next day, I think like 11 o'clock, I had an interview at Imagineering, because I'm no longer, well, technically I'm still working for Interactive, but also technically I'm being asked to leave. And, usually in those big corporations, the different departments don't like to cannibalize from each other. They don't like to, you have to, as the employee, make the initiative. They try to discourage one division poaching from another. Even though they do have job bulletin boards, they, all the time, every week, they'll show you, consumer products needs a designer, et cetera, et cetera. So the other funny part about this is there was another good friend of mine at Interactive at the time. He also got called in. He didn't have a contract when he signed on to work. So he took the deal. Because if you don't take the deal and you don't got a contract, you got nothing. So he went home too. Now, funny thing with him is he gets a call the next day. Say, hey man, we let too many, his name I'm not going to say, so we let too many people go. We didn't mean to let you go. Can you please come back and work? So that happens too. The very next day he gets a call from the HR guy. Oh, yeah, we didn't really mean to let you go. Sorry, can you come back, please? Because I think they ended up letting too many people go. And realizing that they still needed to finish a couple of games, so they still needed to hire, they still need artists. So they brought him back, and they brought a couple other guys back. Not too many, but just, a few. And he ended up staying there for another couple of years. So that happens. Yeah. So the very next day I had an interview at Imagineering. And it was very informal because they didn't really have a job opening there. They just knew that I was a free agent, that I was going to be soon free agent. And same thing, there was no job opening, there was no project that they could shoehorn me in. And I had to interview with a bunch of different producers and directors. Meanwhile, as my attorney is negotiating the end terms to the contract, I was still getting a check in the mail every week. And Michael, thank you. Michael's rating with a party of 51. Wow. Thank you so much. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm Bernard Chang. I'm joined by Chen. Sean, say something. Chen.
Hello everybody. Welcome.
Chen is also a professional comic book artist. Sean's currently drawing Batman Beyond. I'm drawing X-Men Children of the Atom. So we're just here chit-chatting on today. And I'm drawing Bizarro. So make sure you give Sean a follow. Let me see. Let me type this in. I don't have a moderator. I'm not as sophisticated as Mr. Nicola. He obviously has a very professional stream. We just got this voice thing working last stream, right? last stream or the one before? So, oh, I gotta do this all lowercase too. Shit, sorry. Instagram.com. Chen Art.
That's it.
There we go, Chen Art. You can actually see it on the screen too. We're flying around space. Right now we're docked at the space station while I do this drawing. I'm talking about my experience at Disney Interactive, moving out to LA. Sean's inside the cockpit. Yeah, I think it's... if I have some time, I'm gonna draw like a little Hawaiian body, and then like my head can bobble on it. You know, maybe Sean's head will bobble on it. Sean needs to get a green screen. So, trying to convince him to do that. So anyways, while they were negotiating the end terms to the initial contract, I was getting paid. I was getting paid to stay home. Right? So a lot of this stuff, you know, if you're a young artist going into entertainment industry, you want to be well prepared. Michael, Sean and I have been friends since 1992. That's probably longer than most people that jumped on this stream just now. We're two
Dang,
old
it's been
guys.
that long?
Yeah. Hence the retro look of the cockpit, right? This is from Rebel Assault. This was one of my favorite games on the old Macs. Not the Mac Plus, but the standalone Macs. So I'm telling you, yeah, thank you, Yoji. I'm telling you the story about my first time I was laid off. I hope people can maybe take away some of this. Obviously today there's some pretty big industry news, but comics is here to stay. We're two comic book artists still working, and just trying to share our experiences to give some people maybe perhaps a little bit of perspective. These kind of layoffs happen all the time, especially in the entertainment industry. Monomo Banana. Yes. What's 92 is 28 years, Sean? We started working professionally at the same time. We were discovered at San Diego Comic-Con in 1992. Sean was discovered by Barry Windsor Smith, the legendary Barry Windsor Smith. And I was discovered by Bob Layton, legendary Bob Layton. Bob Layton designed or created much of Iron Man's story arcs, story lore. How would you say that, Sean?
I don't know.
He's not the initial creator of Iron Man, but a lot of the Demon in the Bottle, a lot of the storylines that were used for the movies were from his run on Iron Man. And Bob was also your mentor as well, right?
Yeah, probably the more important of the two. I mean, I already drew in like a classical European style, but what I couldn't do was the American superhero stuff. So Bob Layton just showed me how to do the dynamics and stuff like that. So he was probably the more important teacher, and I actually spent more time with him than Barry. So.
Michael, thank you for the subscription. Yeah, so I was getting paid while I was sitting home, and actually at the time too, because I knew I was getting that this was coming. I had lined up another comic book gig with Marvel, so I had that summer I drew Daredevil Deadpool Annual '96. It's actually one of my favorite single something happened to my browser. Encountered an error while decoding the video. I don't know, what does that mean? Thank you, Hype Train. J Dang. Thank you, J Dang. So we were saying earlier to like younger artists, you know, in these kind of professions, you want to be able to make sure you get your cross your T's, dot your I's. You never know when something like this is going to happen. It does happen. You want to be prepared for it. So actually that summer of 96, 97, was actually very memorable. El Cabong, thank you. El Cabong, your sketch is still sitting on my kitchen counter. But I'm going to make an effort to hit the post office this week. I've got a bunch of sketches to give out, to mail out. So, I've always thought about Bizarro having, what is this called? A gap tooth. That's right, El Cabong, and this is a friendly reminder to everybody that's watching right now. At the end of the stream, I'm going to be giving away the sketch. If you win it, you need to send me your name and address. El Cabong did not send me his actual name. He was very private. So the address was right. Mailed it out to him, but the USPS returned it. So they're like, there's no El Cabong here. It's actually written. Somebody wrote on the envelope, there's nobody lives here by this name. So I don't know, El Cabong. Maybe your neighbor was like, or the mailman. It's like, there's nobody named El Cabong. So that shit got sent back. If you can hear in the background too, are my two birds, Beavis and Butthead. If both of them during the course of the stream land on my shoulder at the same time, either together or one on each shoulder, everybody on the stream at that time will get a print. We almost had that a couple of streams ago. So, saying like my buddy who got sent home also the same day, they called him back. They say, hey, can you come back and finish this project? And he ended up being there for like 2 more years. They had ended up laying off too many people. So layoffs are always not a very pleasant thing. Hopefully everybody that was affected will find the course correction, land on their feet. You know, the other something that's often not talked about during these kind of situations is the people that do remain, sometimes they get raises. I mean, they get promoted, and sometimes they get raises. So it's not the best way, but I mean, it's not the ideal way. But those that do survive at the end of the day will carry the torch. And Sean, what do you think of this sketch? Anything else I should add to this?
It's looking great.
He's looking a little dumbfounded. But I do like the gap tooth, right? Because I'm kind of gap tooth. Can you see that? I just realized that. You know, when you get older, your teeth shift. Is Michael still on? Or did he head out?
He asked a question not too long ago.
I thought I answered it. How long you
Oh,
and I have known each other?
no.
Oh, there's
How
another
handsome
question.
am I in real life?
Well, that's a picture of Sean right there.
The pictures, 20 years old.
I mean, Sean hasn't aged since. You know, Mike's Asian. He knows. You know, Asian people don't really age that much. Um, I mean, you still have a full head of hair. I don't have a full head of hair anymore. Um, you know, Michael's got a full head of hair. Man, he's got some locks on him. You know what they say about the length of your hair, right? Do you know what they say, Sean?
Like what they say about the length of your feet. Same thing.
No, the hair. Like,
I mean, yeah, but you know how they say about the how big your feet are.
yeah. Well, I don't. Is it directly related? I have no
I
idea.
don't know.
So there's good and bad. I think comics are still going to be around. What are your thoughts on this, Sean?
Comics will be around for another 85 years.
Yeah. Well, more than that.
I'm just quoting Jim Lee.
Oh, really? When did he write that? Just now?
Like way back when I think when there was vicious rumors about AT&T kind of divesting DC Comics. His thing was he said that DC Comics has been around for 85 years and they'll be around for another 85.
Yeah. I mean, comics.
Yeah, Bernard did have really long, beautiful hair when I first met him.
I had a lot of hair. It was.
Yeah, you. I'm not sure what the haircut is, but it's like buzzed on the sides and the back, and then the hair is like really, and the front is very long, and then you kind of
Yeah.
had like wave and everything.
And then swoop it back. I would do the Pat Riley where I get some product, and put it in the hair and I slick it back.
Pomade. I was like, man, that guy has great hair.
But then one year I shaved it. Because I was the captain of the basketball team at Pratt. And we had some attendance issue with some of the players, some commitment issues. So I said, if you're going to play on this team, you got to shave your head. And I was shocked. The next day, people showed up with shaved heads. I mean, I bought a pair of clippers, which I still have today. Same clippers that I use. And I haven't even changed the blade yet. So, goes to show you. Just need more clipper oil.
You cut your own hair?
Yeah, man. I just get a what you call it?
Did you do the panda cut thing? That panda thing, or is that professionally
Yeah, no, I did
done?
that. Yeah.
Oh wow, that was you. That was pretty good.
If the hair grows long enough, I still have massive hair growth on the sides, just not this middle part. But if it grows here, it grew out pretty wide, and then usually my hair, if I cut it at a certain point, it sticks out. It doesn't go flat, right? So I don't really even need product for the hair to stick up. I used to have like a Kid and Play. What was that? We should find that picture in my Instagram. I used to have that Kid and Play hairstyle in high school. And that was just all blow dry. I didn't have any hairspray, any hair product, any gel. And it was in Miami. So, the humidity. Man, the humidity, like, I don't know. Is it good for hair? I mean, I had a lot of zits. I had a lot of zits back then. Very oily complexion. You can kind of see it. But when you get older, the young artists out there, eventually the acne goes away.
Remember, it was a couple days ago you were saying that you're thankful that Jim Lee was Asian when you first got into the business because you thought all comic book artists were old, fat, bald guys with beards.
Yeah, but that's true. When I was a young whippersnapper, I need to. Michael's making me self-conscious. Need to wipe down a little bit. Is that better? When I was a young whippersnapper, first collecting comics, teenager, the first comic book artists and writers, creators that I met in person. Again, this was pre-internet. There was no Wizard magazine. There was no comics. So you would, if you were lucky enough for an artist or writer to come to your local comic book store for a signing, that's the only time you would get to meet someone. So I got to meet, I don't even remember who it was, but a couple of people. Secret Wars had just come out. I met Mike Zeck. Mike Zeck was actually, I think he was in pretty good shape. But there was some other artists and writers, and they're just like big, huge, guys. Not to fat shame anybody, but they were just big and old and grizzly. There was like pieces of food in their beard. Obviously, this person had not left the house in weeks. Might have taken a shower, might not have. That's kind of like my lifestyle today too. It's kind of come full circle. Holy shit. Wow, Sean. Now I'm really depressed. Let me take some. This is a vitamin D3 break. Whenever I get a little down, I take a couple of these bad boys. Pop right back up.
Sunshine in a pill.
Who needs to go outdoors when you have D3 pills? If you're a young artist and you stay home a lot inside drawing, especially during the coronavirus quarantine, you need some D3. Yeah, so this guy was just grizzly. And then when I got to New York for college, and I saw that Jim Lee was this young Asian dude. I think he was in his mid to late 20s at the time, drawing X-Men. I was like, wow. Hey. And then I saw Rob Liefeld on a Levi's commercial. At that time, I think he had just drawn X Factor. And he was on a national Levi's commercial on TV. I was like, wow, that's another, like, young... I think he was, like, early 20s. Another young guy drawing comics. Wow, the industry has really changed. And that really gave me kind of the light bulb in my head to say, oh, maybe I can draw comic books professionally. So, Sean, what was your moment that you felt like you could draw comics?
I think it was about last year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Sean, if you didn't draw comic books, Sean went to Carnegie Mellon, majored in industrial design. He was going to design phones and what else did you like to design? Sneakers? Did you like to design sneakers? Bicycle
motorcycles, phones, all that household stuff. I mean, it'd be great to work for
blenders.
If you have a studio in a studio. They have all different clients come in, and you work on a different product all the time.
Yeah. Was your specialty blenders?
Anything.
So, what would you have done if you didn't become a comic book artist, Sean? Because by the way, if you guys haven't been following the stream, you should rewatch some of the other episodes. Sean's entire family is doctors, right? Your brother, your two sisters, and your mom and dad are all doctors. So you're like the black sheep of the family.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I just didn't do that well in school academically, so that door was shut to me anyways, and I didn't really want to do it. Um, but I could draw, so and like if you stand out, like if you're trying to keep up with everyone, your family members, and then the art teacher says you're good at drawing, then you kind of go all in on it. It's like this is the only way, and then you kind of overcompensate too. So there are a lot of scholarships, and then kind of push it really hard. So it kind of like makes you who you are, just being the black sheep.
I was an only child, so I really didn't have anybody to. But I wanted to be an industrial design major too. My first choice was RISD, Rhode Island School of Design. And had I gone there, I would have been an industrial design major. Designing blenders, answering machines. Back then, modems. 14.4 modems. Who here, raise your hand, have ever logged on to the internet through the phone? Where you have to dial up and then it goes through the whole Oh, I think we just lost a couple of viewers based on that. Thank you for the sub, Michael. Man, Michael is throwing subs left and right. You're like the Oprah Winfrey. You get a sub, you get a sub. By the way, Sean is the all-time highest selling artist on a number 9 issue of any comic book. Sean's
true?
debut comic book, professional comic book, was Ride in the Future Force number 9. That thing sold. The royalty check on that was more than what his doctor father made in a year. To give you an idea, without getting too specific.
Yeah, it only happened 1 year, and that's it. It's been going down ever
All
since.
it has to do is happen once. That's all. No way you can claim it for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I saved that money and I invested it.
Yeah. But then also, another lesson to you young cats out there. Sean bought a TV, one of those tube TVs, and he did not get a flat screen TV until like 2 years ago. So, there's no need to. You gotta save your money.
Well, the TV just kept working. At some point it would have been, it wouldn't have picked up a signal anymore, but it just kept on working and working. But yeah, then finally we got rid of it. When we put it out on the street, like there was like kids crowding around it because never seen anything like it before.
Yeah, they're like, what the hell is this thing? It's like that scene out of Back to the Future 2, when he goes to a vintage shop and there's an old Mac Plus. I have like 8 of those in my home right now. Those old Mac Pluses, vintage ones. Because it's like I'm like a collector, like a hoarder. That's true too. If you were on the internet back then, it's only through your phone connection, right? You had to pay for per minute of internet use, and you couldn't be on the phone. You had to have a second phone line if you wanted to talk. Otherwise, sometimes if a phone came in, you get kicked off AOL. That's how tough life was back then. So what were we talking about before? Layoffs.
Yeah, it's layoff day.
Layoff day.
It's also it's a bad time of year. Like, I think on PBS they were showing that movie called, I think, is it Company Men with Ben Affleck and Tommy Lee Jones, about the 2008 or 2009 crash, where everyone was getting laid off. It was like a really depressing movie. Like each one of them was losing their job. One of them committed suicide or whatever. It had like a bleak, very uplifting ending because he learned a lot about himself. But they bring that movie back because they're kind of in that time again where it's it's gonna happen again. So
Yeah,
you just gotta get through it.
it's tough. A lot of times, usually towards the end of the year, like right around Christmas, there's actually a lot of layoffs. You think it's the worst time, right? Because it's the holiday season, but it's also the end of the year, and so a lot of companies are looking to shed weight around that time. And companies also hold layoffs and then you'll see the next day the stock price will actually go back up. So it's kind of weird, or unless you're in business, sometimes you just don't understand why some of these things happen. It's unfortunate, but let's hope that everyone that was affected ends up in a better place. And
It's a new beginning. So.
yeah, you always got to be able to turn lemons into lemonades.
Happens to everybody.
And
Everyone who achieved greatness was in that spot once.
Yeah, I think I got laid off a second time at Imagineering, but it wasn't as dramatic as the first one. At Imagineering, I had a 2-year contract, signed another 2 years, so I was there for 4 years. At the end of the 4 years, they notified me that they were not going to renew the contract for another year because the company was going, again, downsizing. This was 2001. 9/11 had just happened, and the tourism industry had already been on decline, but because of 9/11, it completely shut down. Nobody was traveling, nobody was spending any money, nobody was going to Disneyland, Disney World. So unfortunately, what I was doing at Imagineering was all what they call blue sky design. It was all forward projects that wouldn't get made for years, exploring new ideas, new concepts. And because I wasn't attached to a specific project that was ongoing, I was let go. And that time, a little bit older, a little bit more in debt, but still made it out. Pivoted, started doing storyboards, ended up doing advertising storyboards, and then back into comics. So while today may seem it's definitely not pleasurable, I don't really want to ever go through something like this. I do hope that everyone involved ends up in a better place, in a better situation. So Sean, were you ever laid off? I don't think so, right? You never worked in a corporate environment.
Yeah, never have. And yeah, if you work for yourself, you kind of are always kind of laid off. So every job ends and then you got nothing going on. So
yeah.
Well, comics is tough because you can be on a book for like a year or two, and then things change, and really you should move on because I think they got to bring some new blood on the books. So you can kind of like when people are like breathing down your back trying to get you off the book, like it takes a while to move you off, and you know what's happening, and that's never fun. But yeah, like in advertising, those jobs last for a week, and then you could be out of work for like 2 months. So there's a lot of uncertainty.
As an artist, you always have to be prepared.
Yeah, be able to do everything. Like have a lot of different skills, cast a wide net, a lot of different clients. So.
How much savings do you have, Sean?
Well, I mean, I don't make a lot of money, but I don't spend a lot, and it's not really because I'm not thrifty or anything. It's just that I think if you draw comics and you really like doing it, and you never really get bored of it, you don't really need anything else. I don't need to go anywhere. I don't need like new cars or I'm not into things. So it's I just one of the things about being very busy on a book is that you never really leave the drawing table, and there's never any opportunity to spend any money. So, um,
Well, Sean, you should buy
but
a webcam.
I am not appearing. I'm here in voice only.
What is the latest webcam that Sean should get? Well, Sean, I'll give you my old webcam, and then maybe I'll buy a new one.
That sounds familiar. Everything that I've owned, you've given me first, including every job that I had. Is basically I got after you moved on and you said like, "Well, you should hire my friend Sean," and then I just stay there until until I pick up your other job. So I was on Teen Titans um, after you, and then I'm on Batman Beyond after you. So and then I went to Famous Frames after you vacated that. So
Well, you've earned everything you have. You can always recommend people for gigs, but you still have to have the talent to carry it. What did Yoji ask? Yoji asked, yes, Sean is a master home remodeler. I think Sean, man, you should have like YouTube some of that home remodeling stuff. You'd be sitting pretty right now. I mean,
ironically, like that stuff. I mean, if I had just stopped working and then worked on a house, like the way the real estate market is, you can actually just fix up the house you live in, and then when you sell it, it kind of makes up for all the time you didn't have a job.
yeah. And now I watch, like, while I'm drawing, I watch a few YouTube channels. Like one guy that buys salvaged cars, Sam Crack, and
Oh yeah,
and then he fixes them up. And then there's another guy that like makes furniture, but he bought it like a loft. Now he's fixing the loft into a live workspace. Um, yeah, who would have thunk?
oh, Crispy Pop. I gotta say something, Crispy Pop. I think he was on my Instagram earlier, and I told him that we weren't streaming today. But
Oh,
in my defense, this is a special stream because there's a lot of DC news going on.
yeah. I called up Sean last minute, and I was like, hey man, I think maybe we should come on. Some people might want to talk about some of this stuff. I got my story I can share with people. Um, that way, there's probably a lot of stuff going on the internet right now. Um, but we want to try to contribute at least some positivity to this moment. Definitely a lot of the people that were affected, we all knew. Um, some were friends, some were colleagues. Um, but
Yeah, Bobby Chase was my editor on Iron Man for 3 years.
yeah. Oh yeah?
Yeah. Well, it was supposed to be Tom Brevoort initially,
Mm-hmm.
but I think she kind of complained that too many of those books were under Brevoort's control. So they gave my book to her, and she was a great editor. She was, you know, I have no complaints. She's really kept it on time, and she was very honest. Um, I can't say that I have the most positive feelings about her because she's the one that, when I'm gonna be late on a book, all I can see is her face, and like, so she's kind of has that cloud of like, she kind of cracked the whip, and
Really? She's such a nice person. I've never
well,
really.
yeah,
How does she look when
yeah.
she's mad?
Well, I mean, she was never mad, but I just didn't want to disappoint her. So um, most of the time when I thought about her, it's just I gotta not screw this up, and so in some ways, just the thought of her makes my stomach turn. But I just because I wanted to do right by her.
Right. Yeah. I like Bobby. My story with Bobby is that when I was trying to break into the industry, she wrote me a rejection letter, um, which is cool. I mean, actually, nowadays, back then, even to get a letter saying that, well, keep trying, it acknowledged at least that they got the samples, right? And that there was some kind of feedback. So I think everybody... Do you have a rejection letter, Sean, when you were trying to break in?
Well, I did all my portfolio reviews face to face, so I
Oh.
guess there was a couple from smaller companies, um, but yeah, I kind of I think I didn't really start trying in earnest until I was ready to break in. I mean, I think it took me a few years, and so all the rejections were face to face. So
All right, I think we're pretty much done. What do you guys think? Let me go in with a... Go fix this up with an eraser. Oh, it's a backward S. Also, how does this backward S look? Okay. Let's see.
Crispy Papa asked if we're okay through all this. Um, I mean, it doesn't really affect us. My editor, as far as I know, is still there, but even then, I guess I haven't heard anything, but we're still working.
Yeah, I turned in a cover this morning, but this was before, and then I took a nap, and then woke up and heard the news. So I haven't heard anything since. Just want to keep things in a positive frame of mind. Remember some good memories. I know it's traumatic for the people involved.
It seems like these people, they might change companies, but it seems like they've been around forever, and they've been let go so many times from other companies, and they just pop up at another time, another place. So they never really leave for that long.
Yeah. This is, with the coronavirus, I feel like this is probably more of an effect of the coronavirus quarantine situation than it is an indictment on the state of the industry.
I mean, the industry does have problems, but this is not really. I mean, this is not the end of DC for sure. But I mean, the industry's always had problems.
Yeah. Where's Michael? Is he still here? Yoji, you got one rejection letter and one offer to do a pinup. Well, is that company still around? This is the point in the drawing where, because it's pencil, go back in, add some more pencil strokes. My hand is kind of rubbing up against it, not on purpose, but it is on purpose, but not really, because I don't really mind it, because it gives it kind of a gray, like a grayish tint. And then I'm going to go in shortly and eliminate some with an eraser. But these are also, let's see, When do you want to stream again, Sean? You want to stream again tomorrow? Tell Crispy Papa we're not going to stream, and then we'll stream again tomorrow.
Yeah, whenever, I guess. I gotta get the hang of working while I'm streaming, so that's tough.
All right, let's go back in with an eraser. Let's see what we got. We got a mono zero eraser here. Some of you guys might. This is a flat tip.
So how are you gonna give this away if there's a ton of people in the chat?
Well, the regulars get double. Or Yoji hasn't won. I was just thinking yesterday, Yoji hasn't won anything. I'm going to give this to the regulars and the subscribers. We'll give away a Boulevard sketchbook, too. How about that? I don't know. How should we give this away?
I mean, you got a ton of people, so that's some crazy wheel that you would have to make.
Somebody's going to definitely throw up from this wheel. That would be hilarious. From, what is that, epileptic seizure? Well, maybe not everybody wants it, so some people might just be
Bizarro,
watching.
You know.
Some people, yeah, it's just Bizarro. Maybe not everyone wants Bizarro.
It's a good Bizarro, though.
You like it?
Yeah, I didn't really think you can make that character. I never drew him because I just don't like the way. I don't think I would be able to do a good job. But that looks really cool.
I would if I had to draw a miniseries, I would like to draw a Bizarro miniseries. Bizarro versus Wonder Woman. Because there's also different people that draw Bizarro differently. You know, this one he's kind of like. Some people draw him like chiseled out of stone. Is he made out of stone? Is he like made out of some kind of like rock or I don't know. Do you know the history of Bizarro? Who knows the history of Bizarro? We should come up with rules for the wheel now while we're Thank you, Crispy, for the compliment. Yoji, Crispy, you guys want to help come up with some rules for the giveaway today? In the past, if you've been here and you haven't won, you get one slice for every consecutive stream appearance giveaway. Subscribers get double whatever there is. If you've won, you go back down to one. And I have a list from the last stream. Just pull up basically the wheel from before. If your name is on it, I'll just add to it. If you're new, you only get one. How about that, Sean? You think that works?
You never know until you do it. Then you'll see the problems afterwards.
And yeah, it might not be fair. Only domestic U.S. shipping.
Oh, there goes Crispy.
Well, Crispy already won one. He got the Wonder Woman from the other day. So, well, technically, somebody else won it, but then they traded him. I offered up the Megatron. Because I was really drawing that for Crispy. Because he had 7 slices, and he still didn't win. What do you guys think?
Where are you from, Golf Boy Sunday?
Yeah, where are you, Golf Boy? I thought you were in the U.S. You're not in the U.S.? But Golf Boy is a subscriber. Canada. I'll mail to Canada. I'll mail to Canada right now. And you're a subscriber. So, I might not put insurance on it, though. So you gotta trust the Canadian Post. Alright. Here we go, Bizarro. Any other rules before we begin the setup? How long have we been streaming? Whoa, an hour and a half. Okay.
Wait, I asked if we like boba.
Of course. You know,
Sure.
this summer has been those boba ice cream pops. Have you been getting those black sugar? Sean, have you tried those black sugar ice cream pops?
I have not. No.
No? You gotta go to the Asian supermarket to get that stuff, but that's like all the rage here in LA this summer. Is the boba ice cream pops.
That's weird. How does that? If it's like a popsicle, but it has those balls in it?
It has the balls and it has like a milk tea flavor with a sugar ring on it, sugar syrup. And then the boba, depending on the brand that you get, some of them is really actually mochi. But I've had one, I think it tastes very similar to boba. I mean, similar texture. So, all right, I'm done. All right, let's set up this wheel here. This setting up the wheel takes like 15 minutes now.
I don't know. They have to sit through that.
Here we go.
The birds are in this too. So if the birds get it, are you really gonna put it? Are you gonna line the
Oh, that's
bird
the other
cage with
thing
it and
too,
then
right?
crap on it?
Okay, the birds are my Beavis and Butthead. They get an opportunity to win this sketch as well. If they win it, this becomes lining for the bird cage. So,
And then the next stream you'll show the effects.
right. Next stream I will,
And we can all cry.
yes, send out a picture of that. So, let's see here. Uh-oh. What's happening? This is the extent of our special effects.
There's the
Red alert.
Okay.
Red alert.
There's a large wheel in
Red alert.
proximity.
See, the birds love it too. You can hear them in the background. Ooh, traveling through space. This is so high tech. Alright, so here's the wheel. As you can see, last time the wheel. Birds want attention. Let me set up this. Gotta go to Streamlabs. Alright, who won the very last one? J Dang won. So, J Dang goes back down to 1. J Dang won. What did J Dang win last time? Was it this? J Dang won the Scarlet sketch. Alright, still here. I haven't sent it out yet. I'll try to get it out this week. Who else do we have on? Please type something in the comment box if you want to be considered for this. I'm going to give Michael, since Michael is Michael's been throwing out the subscriptions like it's candy, like it's Halloween candy. Okay, so Yoji's here. Luke for Mr. Joshua. Sean Chen, Beavis Butthead, Crispy, J Dang, Su Lee still here. Su Lee, you want to be eligible for this sketch this time?
Yeah, she likes this one as opposed to last time.
You didn't like the other sketch, but this one you like.
Scarlet, right?
Okay, all right, I see how it is. All right, is Mighty here? Mighty was here last time. Is Mighty here this time? The Raka, Ashton. Okay, I will note that this wheel tends to give like first timers. Like a lot of first timers win with this wheel. Even though Sean, we did a spin last time where you had like half of the wheel. You did win that time, but anybody else? Too woke. Let's see. Too woke. Golf boy. Y. Crispy. Crispy. Too woke. Too woke. Okay. Too woke. Let me give too woke. Oh, a different color. All right. Kevin P. West. Kevin P. West. Welcome back, Kevin P. West. Kevin P. West. I know Yoji's going to get a... Yoji, you got to have a bunch of slices. You haven't won in like... Well, you won the Boulevard sketchbook, but you haven't won a sketch. Who else do we have here? If you... Kazuto. Kazuto. Welcome back, Kazuto. You were on here earlier. Yes. Kazuto. All right. If you throw up because of the spinning wheel, if you can take a picture of that, send it to me for proof. I'll give you an extra slice next time. Anybody else? Anybody else? You want to be eligible for this amazing sketch done by... Oh, shit. Well, you wanted this Bizarro sketch. Let me update the wheel. Let me update the wheel right now. Anything else I need to think about, Sean? Make sure you guys give Sean a follow on Instagram. Let's see, is the wheel updated? Let me give J Dang. J Dang, you got to go back down to 1. Okay. Yoji, you get like 3. You get 2 plus 1, 4. You got double because you're a subscriber. Okay. Who else is a subscriber? A subscriber is someone with a star or no, yeah. Suli, you're a subscriber? That means you get 2. Crispy, you get 2. Crispy, you just won last time, so you get 1. Crispy Papa. Crispy Egg Roll. Crispy Egg Roll gets 2. 2 woke. Who's a J Dang is a J Dang won last time, so you get 1. Kazuto. Kazuto gets 2 because he's a subscriber. Kazuto, did you win? Kazuto won once, right? You won last time, right? Didn't Kazuto win a sketch from you, Sean? I could have sworn.
I don't think so. No.
Anybody from Senegal?
El Kabong is here.
El Gabon?
El Kabong is, well, do you know El Kabong is kind of like, it's a verb which means to destroy a guitar by smashing it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, maybe El Kabong can verify that.
I mean, I know in Jim's stream, every time I watch Jim Lee's stream, I always learn something. Is this going to be the takeaway from today's stream? That El Kabong is a verb for smashing up a guitar. Look at that. Yoji's got 4. Who else are we gonna get? Michael gets 2. Subscriber. 2 woke. 2 woke. Did 2 woke win already? I mean, we're kind of going off of the Wei hasn't won. I think he gave up his Boulevard sketchbook. So is Wei a subscriber? No, he's just a VIP. But I give him 2 because he's been here a couple times. Anybody else? Kazuto, you haven't won a sketch? Alright, Kazuto, I'll give you 2 because you're a subscriber. Let's see. Who else? Anybody else? This is it. There's a bunch of people online, but you gotta type something on the chat in order for me to enter your name. That's fair, right, Sean?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Let me. Okay. What just happened? Something happened. Wei. Oh, Wei wants to get that extra. Wei wants that extra slice. Oh, J Dang gifted Wei. J Dang. Very generous. Thank you, J Dang. Well, Wei has 2. Do I give Wei 3? Okay. The Raka got you on there. 2 Woke got you on there. Has 2 Woke won or not? 2 Woke has not won, right? Did he ever reply to that, Sean?
Yeah, I don't see it. 2 times ago?
Oh, he already won. Okay, so you gotta get back down. All right, let me update this. So right now, Yoji and Wei are like the 2. Yoji got that huge ass slice. Got 3. I got 4. I got 4. Now, I also give you an option. If you don't like the sketch, you don't really want to win this one, you can decrease the number of slices that you have back down to 1 or 0, and then the next time, bump you back up.
Oh my god.
So many rules. So many rules. I mean, I like rules, but that's a lot of rules. I'm going to, next stream I'm going to forget all these rules. I'm going to have to make up new ones. Until we come with, we need to sit down and write some kind of like constitution, some kind of rule book. Set it in stone. Oh, 2 Woke wants to decrease his slices. 2 Woke doesn't like Bizarro. Well, 2 Woke, you only got 1 slice. Anyways. So. But actually, you would get 2. So you back down to 1. All right. Okay. Right. Articles of Art. The CCNR is the covenants, codes, and restrictions. Okay. Anybody else? The birds are yelling. They want me to put them in the cage to go to sleep. I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Hope we've been able to entertain you for a little bit. Thank you for watching the stream. Make sure you give a follow so that you know when we're on next time. Sean, did you tell Crispy Papa if we're going to be on tomorrow or not?
We will not.
Oh, so that means we're going to be on tomorrow. So, and then again, thanks to everybody for watching. Are we ready to spin the wheel? Let's spin it. Kevin P. West. Kevin P. West.
He won the Iron Man.
Yeah, I know he won Iron Man. All right, let's spin the wheel. Let's see what happens. Oh! Golf Boy. Golf Boy with the green. Wow. Wait, Golf Boy is in Canada? Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck. What? Wait, hold on. What happened? Okay, no. Golf Boy won. Sorry, Yoji. Golf Boy won. All right. Fuck. Canada. Isn't there like a restriction? Package restriction to Canada? Well, congratulations, Golf Boy. DM me on Instagram. Make sure you give Mr. Chen a follow. Oops, this way again. I remember that. I think we're out of the red alert. Let's get rid of this red alert. Spin wheel. Let's watch the space movie. Want to thank everybody for joining us. Stay safe out there. Make sure you give us a follow so that you get notified next time we come on.
Catch Suli's stream. What is it? Friday for the big stream, and then
Suli
Sunday.
Also, yes, Suli. Suli Friday has. You're gonna have like a whole bunch of people on Friday again. Suli.
She's gonna have the Brady Bunch screen with all these guys.
Suli draws. Make sure you give Suli draws. Make sure you give Michael a follow. Michael DiNicola. Thank you so much Michael's probably asleep by now. But thank you for joining us. Who else? Who else can we thank? The usual gang: Crispy, Yoji, Wei. I guess that's it, right, Sean? You have anything else you want to say? No?
No.
You want to leave these people with words of wisdom?
One door closes, another one opens.
Right. All right. Well, we'll catch you guys hopefully tomorrow. Thank you again.